I'm Scout. That's Droid. Droid jump. that's Cyber. And we're going to be explaining Warframe in 24 minutes, hopefully. First things first. Fucking this thing. God damn it! I just cussed in the first 20 minutes.
Foundry.
The Foundry. The Foundry is how you make stuff. If you want a weapon.
Basically,
Yep.
I thought I
do
was
it.
explaining a
Nope,
Foundry.
you do it.
Okay, basically, if you're wanting to get new weapons, new Warframes, or other shit for projects, this is where you go. First off, when you're getting some new guns, you come up here and purchase the blueprints from the market. Then you will go down here if you have the resources to build the gun. Same thing for Warframes, but all the Warframes you will have to farm for their parts, unless you're going after primes. We'll talk about primes later.
Yes. Now, for leveling. Warframes don't level the same way other games do. The level doesn't actually make you stronger, it just allows you to put mods on, which is... Cyber, your turn.
Mods are basically a way to augment your abilities, increase your defense, your health, shields, builds. Like, for instance, my Anaros. I have no shields, so and shield mod would be absolutely useless on me. But increasing my armor and my health would be a benefit. You can also change the element of like your weapon, like my shotgun. It normally doesn't have any base element on it, but if I put like an electric mod, now my bullets are electrified. Same with fire and
you can
toxin.
mix chemicals in order
Yes,
to create
and if you
new
mix
elements.
together, like mixing electricity and toxin together, you will get corrosive, allowing you to melt enemy armors. And I believe frost or cold and toxic make viral, which have enemies' health when it procs. And shock and electricity, or shock and fire make radiation.
Yep, you got all those right.
You
Cold
can
and heat also make blast.
Yeah, and you can also boost. Yeah, and you can also. Your energy to cast your more powerful abilities more frequently, as well as reducing their costs and so on and so forth, increasing ammo accuracy. So keep an eye on what mods you find. They can really help you develop your own playstyle.
Yes, and this thing is relics. Which, Cyber, the explanation?
Okay, relics are how you get the parts for prime weapons, prime frames. And they have a percentage chance. Each relic has its own loot table, basically. Like the gold one, the gold item is the rarest, and you can basically level up the relic with a currency called void traces to have a higher chance of getting that gold item. But keep an eye out, because the parts you want might be bronze, which are the most common.
Also... Yo, Donut, talk about primes.
Yes. Oh, hold on, wait a minute. Primes, excuse me, you talk about those useless fucking off-brand Food Lion shit, Walmart brand shit. You talk about it's the exact same fucking thing as the original thing. All it does is give you a tad bit more, a chance of a tad bit more energy, or a chance of a tad bit more armor. It doesn't actually give you any fucking benefits besides style points. That's it. It's just style points. That's all primes are. I did experiments. Personally, I have primes. The only things that are worse primes are weapons. Warframes are shit, alright? They look cool as fuck, I'll give them that. They look fucking cool, but here's the thing. How the fuck are my abilities gonna be the exact same when it has prime in the name? It has a prime in the name, and it does the exact same shit. Like, if I'm jacking off my right hand...
Which are the most common.
Also, in order to explain Prime Warframes, Droid.
Prime Warframes are basically upgrades of the original Warframes that you start out with. They typically have higher stats, Though some of them, the stats don't really matter too much, and they're just meant to look pretty.
Yep.
Yeah, and to be honest, some primes as aren't as better than normal frames. But certain frames,
But there are
certain primes
certain
are a
frames.
lot easier to get your hand. The prime is a hell of a lot easier to get your hands on than the base. Like my Inaros is you're gonna want to get the Inaros prime because it's a hell of a lot easier than regular Inaros.
Yes. And there are some primes which are useless, and there are some primes which are very useful, like Volt Prime having a lot more energy, and also Atlas Prime having a lot more armor, energy, and health. Some people say primes are just pretty looking things, and for some primes that is correct. But
Yes,
there are most primes, hopefully, that have
are
better
better.
energy stats, which can
Yeah,
use your ability more.
Dear God, do not ask anyone about farming Equinox. You'll
Yes.
get like a 30-hour rant.
And as for me, I'm going to do this part. This is where you have your companion, the little floaty things, which either have this floaty kind of companion, or you have a pet dog or cat companion that's right here. And what was it? Oh, the next part is, this is your arsenal. This is super important. This allows you to get new Warframes, get new weapons also if you don't want to use the market, and also allows you to customize the color of it with like pressing square because we're on PlayStation, and you can get different colors. Also colors. Colors and customization. You have to buy most of the colors. However, you can get free colors on holidays like Christmas, Halloween, Valentine's Day. They used to have a 4th of July one. I don't think they do that no more. And
Yeah.
I think that's about it for... Oh, wait, the back rooms.
Oh yeah.
First, we'll do the fucking gross room. This,
Welcome to the helmet.
the helmet.
So the helmet basically allows you to say you have a frame that you don't really care about. You can take it, put it in this, and basically have the helmet eat it to be able to put that frame or that an ability from that frame onto anything. Like, say you have an Ash that you've never used or really want. You max it out, but you don't care. You can put it in, feed it to the helmet, and then then you can take something like a frame you like Excalibur, and you can put the shurikens from Ash onto an Excalibur.
Yes. Also, if you have a pimple on your fucking neck, this thing gets rid of it.
Primes are immune to being
Being
sacrificed
so,
to the helmet.
so don't worry about almost accidentally assuming something you worked really hard for if you have a prime. Prime,
Yes.
you don't have to worry.
This thing also eats a lot of resources, so don't forget to farm. Then
Yeah,
there's
farm.
this room, which is your crew quarters, which
Personal
honestly
quarters.
doesn't do much, but it looks nice.
It's your personal quarters. It's some place if you just want to come chill, decorate. This is the room to do it.
It's basically your bedroom.
Yes. And now, for the next room, this is where you customize the person in the suit. Or the fucking
Well,
Tenno.
not in.
Not in, but basically your Tenno remote controls these...
I guess we probably should have
Warframes.
mentioned. You probably should have mentioned spoiler alert when we walked through that door.
Yeah, spoiler alert. This is what you look like. You're a tiny child named a Tenno. This is where you can
Even then,
customize
that's
that
a bit of a
character.
stretch
When you get
now
to
with
the
the new war.
second dream, when you unlock the second dream quest, you'll learn more for that.
Yes.
Right, second dream, isn't it?
Yes. We're not going to spoil too much.
Well,
We're just going to tell you
War
what each
Within
room
and
does.
Second Dream are kind of wrapped up in the
Yeah.
same kind of.
Also,
Yeah,
I press the
but
button.
when you get
Yes. And your tiny Tenno. That's how you customize it. Anyways, to the next room, or the next thing. This is where you can get into your Railjack. Your Railjack is a warship that you get later in the game, and it looks right over there. It looks like that thing. And, Droid, would you like to explain Railjacks and how they work?
Railjacks are another form of space combat next to Arcwing. Arcwing was the original space combat designed for close quarters with with Grineer ships and Corpus ships and stuff like that. Railjack is more open. It's more wide. It's more actually space-based.
Yes,
Instead
it's
of
not just
flying
running
around
around
at
with
the-
jetpacks.
Pretty much. Yeah, you basically get into a warship and go blow some shit up.
Yep. And you can steal
And
other
for-
warships, pirate style.
And for all of you who think, why would I want to do that? Let's just say that there's a thing you can get later on with the Railjack that basically allows you to recreate that iconic scene from Doom Eternal where Doom guy shoots himself out of a cannon.
Yes. And now for the next area, we have the Nightwave. Who wants to take on the Nightwave?
I guess I will. Nightwave is basically optional challenges you can complete while running around doing missions, running around in the open spaces, around on some of the
And we're
various
out.
worlds, and you can get some pretty decent rewards, like getting stuff to improve your Warframe, some neat cosmetics.
You can get colors
Getting-
and also slots for new weapons. Because,
Yeah, even stuff to what called Forma, which will allow you to basically help you decrease a mod, get more mod space while also decreasing their cost.
yes. And, what's this? The Codex. The Codex will just explain lore to you and also give you your quest.
It'll
And-
also show you things that you've mastered and scanned throughout the game.
Yes.
Should I cover event weapons and shit
Yes,
like
event weapons.
that?
Cover event weapons and then cover the syndicates right after that.
Event weapons are basically weapons that you can get during events, such as the Bosmu rifle on my back. It is basically, most of the event weapons are just there to look pretty, but some can actually be very broken and very useful in game. So I do encourage anyone that does watch this, pick up the event weapons when you see the events active. Syndicates are basically factions built into the game, kind of like Ligonier, Corpus, Infested, and shit like that. They
work with
kind
you
of-
until you piss them off.
Yeah, basically it's kind of like gangs in a way. Basically, if you're on one side, there's always a rival side.
Yep.
Or,
Three
school
rival
teams.
sides.
Yeah.
And generally, 3 will like you, and 3 will absolutely hate your guts, that they'll send a swarm of robotic murder assassins.
Now, syndicates can actually be very useful because you can get specific mods for your warframes to augment their abilities, giving your abilities new purpose. Basically, for me, I am running Volt Prime, which means I could put on a specific augment mod that allows me to put a static charge radius around me when I'm using my second ability, Rush.
Nice.
You can also get syndicate weapons that are just look pretty.
No, they do have a secondary effect.
Yes, like,
they build up a passive charge. Once it's fully charged, it will release. Some will basically create a massive explosion.
And like the Hex. The Hex usually only fires 4 shots, but the Syndicate Vex fires up to 8 shots.
Yeah, so they do have their own little unique perks, so they're worth getting.
Yes. Also, this is the place where you can customize and upgrade your Railjack. Over here is just community news and update stuff. This is where you do PvP multiplayer. It's not
The
common.
Conclave.
Yeah. You'll be waiting for a good eternity before you find a match. No one
if
really
you
does
do-
PvP in this game.
Good luck doing well in the game.
Also, right here, as we've already said, is the market where you can either buy it with real-world money, or you can buy blueprints, which is not actual money. You use the
In-game
credit
currency
system.
that you gain,
in-game credits.
in-game currency that you gain passively as you're doing missions and killing shit.
This game has way too many types of currencies.
Also, we
That
should
later
probably get
on.
into
Okay.
is you have a limit to how many Warframes you can have, like Warframe slots. So you will eventually have to either sell Prime parts in the market to other players for platinum, or just shill the money and actually buy slots for your weapons.
Or when you start, make sure you buy the two. You use your starting platinum to buy 2 new Warframe slots, so you have
Yes.
at least 4 on
You start out with platinum, which platinum is the money, the currency money. Credits are like the in-game thing. You get credits for free by playing the game. This over here is the navigation, which who wants to tackle that shit?
I can do it. The navigation is basically where you can select your missions, go into a procedurally generated map, and you have several types, from kill a certain amount of enemies to survive for so many waves of enemies or for a certain amount of time. Time to hacking computers and getting out scot-free.
Nice.
Or
To straight up,
people.
and some missions are just straight up boss fights.
Yep. I feel like
Because
we're
what's a game
missing
without
something.
a few boss fights?
And those bosses generally have the parts for new Warframes.
We haven't
Yeah.
talked about the starting Warframes yet.
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
the starting warfare.
It's
Oh yeah.
like-
Well, we have 2 things left, which is the good, wrong button.
Yeah.
Starting warframes and also dojos and clans.
Yeah. So, first up, let's just do the starting Warframes. For instance, like, take Volt Prime. Normal Volt is a frame you can pick at the very beginning of the game.
Yeah, you
And
get
the
3
one-
options between
Yeah.
Bolt, Mesa, no, not Mesa, Mag,
Mag and
And
Excalibur, which is the
Basic
one I
Bitch.
picked.
The Basic Bitch.
Hey, I like my
Poster boy
swords.
Warframe. Big
Don't call me Basic
Excalibur.
Bitch just because I like my swords.
I can run over Excalibur real quick. Excalibur basically can blind people with his radio blind, then he can slam on the ground with his sword and create like a shockwave,
Shockwave.
and then he can also dash through the air or on the ground with his sword. And then his final move, which is basically fucking
Pull
each
out
goes
an energy sword and just start going town shooting shockwaves every which direction.
fucking weeaboo attack Getsuga Tenchu basically
Oh,
from Bleach.
don't forget, don't forget,
I can
said
explain
weeaboo attack can also go through cover.
You want to explain Mag for the audience, Cyber?
Mag is basically, well, as the name suggests, her whole thing is magnesis. She can grab enemies from a distance, basically slow them down with a magnetic bubble, and that ability can also be held to grab it. Right? It's the bubble.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the bubble.
Well,
The
and
bubble
her
also
full-
boosts his damage, if I'm remembering
I
correctly.
got, what was the third? I always forget the third ability.
Because she got-
Polarize. It allows her to remove enemy armor.
Yeah, well, and then the last one basically allows her to grab all the enemies in an area and
force
crush
choke
them
them.
inside their armor. No, she crushes their armor with them inside of it.
The Force Pull and Force Crush.
I'll explain Volt because
Yes.
I'm the master. Volt
Volt,
has
the best Warframe.
or-
The best starting one. The best boy.
Volt
Continue.
has Volt's first ability allows him to basically smite people with a bolt of lightning generated from his hand.
Force
His
lightning.
second ability allows him to run at insane speeds, along with buffing his nearby allies, giving them the same speed buff. He can also place his third ability allows him to place down shields, which he can pair with his first ability to make the shields solid to enemies. You can then pair that with your second ability and turn yourself into a running around battering ram. His fourth ability, called Discharge, allows him to send out a
It starts a massive
lightning
shockwave of energy, electrocuting everybody in an area.
An
and turning
AoE
them
suicide
into living
bomb.
Tesla coils that
Well, no,
shock each
because
other.
it doesn't do damage. Remember, it doesn't do damage to you. You are literally generating a huge amount of energy and then just releasing it all at once.
So basically, if Superman wore a suicide vest.
Once again, no damage, so it's not a suicide attack. A suicide would involve, like, my analysis final ability, where I actually die, and then I can revive myself by draining the life from my enemies.
Alright.
Now, the Warframes also do have passive abilities, but that's nothing you really have to worry too much
No.
about, because those are always active.
Yeah. And now, last but not least, clans. And for example, I am a clan founder. And droid here is essentially my eyes, ears, and my right hand. And he has basically the same authority I do as the second highest ranking member of the clan as a warlord.
They're
Or
not necessary, but there are some weapons and warframes that only you can get by hanging out with your homies.
yeah, so
Such as Volt, you can only get him from a clan.
yeah,
Which
he's
is kinda
found in the what's known as the Tenno Lab inside the clan dojo, which is basically your group's little base of operations. And like the railjack we mentioned earlier can only be built if the clan you joined has what's known as a dry dock.
Actually, that's not true. They added in dry docks to the relays, so anybody can do them now.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
well,
Well, they used to.
well, yeah,
That's
that
true.
used to be the thing. And generally joining a clan is a good idea because then you have an easier time of finding people who are willing to help you. And another thing, do not make this mistake like I did when I started out. Go into the chat and type in, "I'm new. Can someone please help me learn the game?" There are tons of people who are willing to help you learn. Or if you find this video insufficient for some reason,
Yes.
don't be afraid to ask for help. Say I'm new and ask for help.
Yes.
You may get bombarded by 1,001 clan invites, but it's better just to ask for help rather than struggle. Like,
Warframe
for
is
instance-
a very social game. It's not a
Yeah,
game
like,
you play
for-
by yourself.
Like, for instance, I literally did not learn about the element combining thing until I accidentally did it myself and slapped a frost and a fire mod on my gun without realizing it and getting a new element.
Yes. Because this is
You
why we're doing
accidentally
this
blew
video.
Yourself up. You accidentally blew
So, yeah.
yourself up too.
God, don't remind me. I don't like talking about getting launched off that cliff.
Anyways, the game doesn't explain any of this, so we're doing that for you. This is a public service announcement. And also another thing with mods, you can upgrade the mods so they become more powerful, but they take up more space in your slots. So don't forget to upgrade it with Endo and credits. And also forma your Warframe or gun to make more space. And there's one other thing I feel like we're missing.
Puppies and cats.
Alright.
Yeah, we mentioned this station is where you can basically breed a dog called a Kubrel, which there are several fights from attack to protection to just straight up grabbing resources as you're running around the map.
Yep.
Stealth too.
My personal and my personal favorite, the Helmet Charger, which is basically like the attack dog, but it has a very poisonous bite.
You'll learn a bit more about that later.
So, in closing thoughts, Warframe is really fun, but it's not a game you should play all the time. For instance, let's say you play with your friends and you go farm for like Rhino, or get like a new Warframe, and you come here to the fucking foundry and you build the blueprints. It's gonna take 24 hours for you to get that Warframe, that hard work you created. So, do yourself a favor. Don't just sit there and stare at it or use credits to make it go faster and waste your money. Stop, play a different game, come back to it with your friends when you have time. Pace yourself. Do not burn out while playing this game. It happens to all of us. This game is not a game where you just quickly get all the achievements and get everything done in like 1 or 2 sits in. This is a commitment of a life. This is not a commitment. It's a way of life, basically. This is a
Yeah. It is a lifestyle.
Warframe is not a game, it's a lifestyle. Just say that.
It's just it's a community event basically. It's like you and the
And-
boys going out to the bar to
Clear
hang out.
some
It's a
information
place
about
to
the
hang out.
crafting time for Warframes.
Excuse me.
It actually takes 12 hours for each individual part of the Warframe, and
72
3
hours
days,
to complete the
3
actual
days
thing.
for the actual complete build of the Warframe. So
Well, if you do it all at once though, and save it up till like
it'll
you
take
build
around 4 days.
4 days. Yeah. All right.
4 days
Yeah.
For
for, a single
Warframes,
Warframe,
for a gun that you built, it will just take just
12
one
hours
day.
to 24, depending on the
so.
weapon.
Warframe's also a game that's good. That's very good with planning. So you have to plan out what you're doing ahead of time.
And I'm just gonna put this here now as a fair warning to anyone new. You know, when you go to places like, a lot of places, Cetus and Fortuna, do not try and max out their little syndicate all in one go. You will hate yourself. Take your time.
Yeah.
Just have fun.
Yeah, it's a casual. It's a thing you
Fine.
do
Well,
casually. Like play other. Make sure you're
me and
playing
my
other games while you're playing Warframe.
Because yeah, and I'm only saying this now because
Don't burn
us three, all three of us here, plus our good buddy Donut, have made that mistake. We ended up hating
Also
the
Dan.
experience. Just experience the worlds and just have fun in the areas. Do it while you're there. Try and get some standing, but don't let that be your main focus.
Also, you can also get hoverboards, as I said, and also jetpacks, and also giant mech suits later in the game if you want that. And that's it. I think that's almost it. Also, what I'm gonna do in the edit of the video is put Destiny and fucking... What was the other game? The shittier version of this? We have like a
Anthem.
jetpack... Anthem. Yes. To stunt on them, because I'm kind of a dick. Anyways, that's the end of this video.
Hopefully your PlayStation won't fucking yell at you.
Yep. Well, that's the end of this video. So, let me do my outro. Remember the outro. See you guys later. You do have to comment. You don't have to like or subscribe, but please don't forget to comment.